now we're back with the final Wyvern video, the Ancient Wyverns, and there's going to be some variety here because it's not the same as the other three that we've been doing. The other three are very similar in stats, so they're basically the same thing, but the Ancient Wyverns are tougher and they do have better drops, so we'll be making more money per hour here. We'll also be killing less of them because they are stronger. And just like with the last videos, I opted to keep the same setup just to keep things consistent, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I also noticed that the Ancient Wyvern video that I made a long time ago, like 2 years ago, I wasn't actually using Protection Prayers. I ran in there with max strength here. I think it was Bandos at the time. And I only had Piety on. I was not using Protect from melee. So yeah, should be able to last a lot longer there with the Protection Prayers and of course the tanky setup that we've opted for. So just a heads up. I found out quickly that in the first trip, I had to switch up the inventory setup since we leave a lot faster. I think we left after like 10 minutes instead of 20. And what I decided to do was bring 2 less prayer pots, so now we got 3. And I am also bringing a full inventory of sharks instead of leaving 2 spaces open for loot, since we end up using the food pretty quickly. And as you may have noticed, we did use up all of our stamina on the way over there to the Ancient Wyverns. They are the furthest away from where we start, so it is a long run back every single time. Now, as I mentioned earlier, these Wyverns are different in terms of their combat level, which means that they're stronger than the other ones, but they also have a better drop table and a higher chance at receiving the Wyvern Visage. As you can see here, the Wyvern Visage is a 1 in 12k drop from the other 3 Wyverns, and from the Ancient ones, it is a 1 in 10k drop. So while we do have a better chance of obtaining the Visage from these Wyverns, I don't think we kill them fast enough to really make it worth it. The other Wyverns were able to kill about twice as fast, so maybe if the drop rate on these Wyverns was 1 in 6k, it'd be more worth it. So I'd say if you're just hunting for the Visage, you're better off killing the weaker variants, and plus they're a lot more AFK. And speaking of AFK and stronger variants of Wyvern, these actually had to be nerfed after they came out. The defense level was reduced from 220 to 150, which ultimately changed its combat level from 227 to 210, so these guys were even stronger back then. They even had to improve their drop table to make them worth fighting. I think when they first came out, you were just better off killing the weaker Wyverns, but now, with the improved drop table, they're a more consistent form of money making. If you're not relying on the Visage, you do make more money here killing these stronger variants. Here's a look at some of the drop tables for the Wyverns. On the left, we have the weapons and armor drops for the 3 weaker Wyverns, and on the right, we have the weapons and armor drops for the Ancient Wyverns. And as you can see, the Ancient Wyverns have more rune items as well as even a Mystic Air Staff, so more money overall. And you'll also notice that even the Granite Boots are a lot more common with the Ancient Wyverns. Instead of being a 1 in 2.5k, it's a 1 in 600. But the Granite Longsword is a bit rarer for whatever reason. And just like in my last videos, I am taking advantage of the NPC Aggression Timer plugin on Runescape. That is the yellow outline that you see drawn on the floor. If you look to the left of my inventory, you'll notice my stat boost, and then at the very bottom, a timer. When that timer hits 0, the yellow outline will light up, and that basically means that I need to step outside of it to get the aggression back from these monsters. So definitely a super helpful plugin. It takes me back to the very beginning when I first started playing Osrs and I was training at Sand Crabs, and I just ran north all the way to the church every single time to reset aggro. This plugin back then would have helped so much more because I would have known exactly how far to run to reset aggro instead of just, running a long distance every single time. Now, some interesting differences between these Wyverns and the other ones is that our food drops are a whole lot better. I believe with the other Wyverns, we were lucky enough to get 2 lobsters sometimes from a kill, and here we get 5 sharks, so that definitely helps. And we definitely need the food because these guys hit a whole lot harder. Also, the single prayer potion drops have been replaced with double super restore drops, so that's nice also, but I found that I never really had to use the super restores, which is good because I wanted them for the price check, and
we just didn't use them because we didn't need to. We don't really last a long time here because these wyverns hit like a truck. So 3 prayer potions in the inventory was always more than enough for each trip. And it's good to know that these guys actually drop onyx bolt tips, which is big money here. Every time you see one of those drops, it is in blue text, at least for me, and that just means that it is over 100k, so nice drops. Another big difference between these ancient wyverns and the other ones is that you might want to bring an herb sack for these. These guys do have a chance of dropping grimy ranars in a stack of anywhere from 2 to 4, and they are not noted, so your inventory can quickly fill up if you get lucky or unlucky and receive a bunch of those drops. Unlike the other wyverns, which I believe they're all noted except for the ranars and torstals, which only come at a 1 singular drop, so herb sack might be good here. And I'd even suggest bringing some alch runes since you can get nature runes as drops anyways. You do get a bunch of alchables, so might as well bring the runes to alch. Of course, I didn't bring them though because I want to see all the loot at the end of the video, but if I were to stay here for a long time, I would definitely bring some fire runes. And on the way back from one of my trips, I noticed a dragon impling out in the wild and I went to go catch him. Now, this is good and bad because I hadn't seen a dragon impling in a very long time. It's bad because he's not tagged. I have a plugin that is supposed to tag implings, and I'm sure you've seen it before. So, like, you'll see a bunch of like eclectic implings that are tagged that are just flying around, and they're very easy to spot. But for some reason, all the rare imps that I wanted to have tagged were not tagged in my plugin. I had dragons off and I had luckies off. I have no idea when I did that or even why I did that, but after this moment I did fix that. I can only imagine how many dragon implings I've just missed because the plugin wasn't on. But anyways, that is pretty much it for these wyverns. This kill right here will be the last kill. This is 1001 kills. So let's go ahead and take a look at the total loot from all of the wyverns. Alright, so here's a look at the first price check. 15.3 mil. The majority of the 1000 kills is right here. Not a bad amount. Let's go ahead and head over to the GE, sell it off, and then get the other stuff. So just a quick little summary on these ancient wyverns. Overall, the grind was pretty chill, but if I had to pick a wyvern to kill, it would probably be one of the first ones that I killed, just because they're much easier, more AFK, ultimately have a better chance at getting the visage since you can kill more of them per hour. And I mean, I can stay there longer before having to bank, so that's nice. Also, for whatever reason, at this time, the granite longsword just refused to sell, even for a low price, so I just ended up high-alching it. And after everything had been sold, that left us with a total cash stack of 16,175,151 coins. Now, if we subtract the cost of supplies, which was 3,018,236 coins, that gives us a grand total profit of 13,156,915 coins, after about 16 to 17 hours of killing these ancient wyverns, which puts our hourly rate at about 800,000 GP per hour, so less than what we got a couple years ago when we first did this video, but to be fair, we were also collecting the bones, so since we're just crushing all of them, we do lose out on a bit of money there. And speaking of crushing bones, we ultimately got 72,072 prayer XP, since each bone is worth 72 prayer XP. And across all 4 wyvern videos that we've done recently, that gives us a grand total prayer XP of 288,288. And here's a final look at the total loot from the 1001 ancient wyverns that we killed, as well as the loot from that one dragon impling that we found. And with this video done, that is it. We can now see which wyvern is the best to kill. Here are all of the wyverns along with their GP per hour. Now, like I said, the first 3 are pretty similar, even if the numbers don't really say so. I think it was just a matter of RNG. We need a bigger sample size. Maybe after we kill 1,000,000 of each, we'll get a more accurate representation of the GP per hour. But for now, this will have to do. I just want to say thanks for checking out the video, and thank you to all of my channel members. Once again, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and as always, I will catch you guys in the next episode. And it turns out that this cash tag right here isn't the only money we made from this video, and the rest of the videos, I guess. When I first bought this shield, I believe I got it for around 18 million GP, and it has increased in price. Currently sitting at 22, or the actively traded price, if that's accurate, is 24 mil. So not a bad flip, I guess. Unintentional, but we'll take it. Unfortunately though, I won't be selling the shield anytime soon because I haven't received the Wyvern visage, and I'm not going to stop until I get it. The skeletal visage has eluded me, but this one will not.